Okay, so it's journal number 8. Um, I'm going to be talking about some stuff from the Carter Emma Goldrick text. It's chapter 17, talking about the launching phase of the life cycle, and I guess this is kind of the midlife life cycle, where parents have children and they're launching them to go out on their own, yada yada yada. Um, So I'm not there personally in my own life because my daughter's still pretty young. She's not 2 yet, but I can definitely see my dad having been there not too long ago, and seeing some of the things that he went through. I'm sure it probably would have been different if my mom had been around. But I know he was sad to see my sister and I leave, but at the same time he just knew that it was a part of, life and what was going to happen. My sister went to a local college her first 2 years because that was around the time my mom passed, and she decided she didn't want to go far away. So, he didn't really have to deal with her launching till 2 years later, which actually happened to be the time that I went off to college. So, poor thing, he had to deal with not one child leaving, but two at the exact same time. Um, but he seemed to do pretty well with it. We would come home, you know, once a month or once every month and a half, so pretty often, or we'd see him at least once a month. So I think he dealt with that change pretty easily. Um, I wonder how I'm going to do when I have Emily and the next child or children that I have, when they, are to be launched, how I'll do. At this point, um, I hate to have to say goodbye to Emily when I go to internship or to class or whatever else, but, I know that I can't be with her forever. She's going to get older and she's going to want to do her own thing and live her own life, and, I have goals that I want to obtain, but, I certainly hope that I'll be able to adjust, appropriately. I'll probably be sad, but, hopefully Steve and I will get to spend more time together, and that'll be a positive. I was reading in one of the parts of the chapter where it talked about how, all the research says that marital satisfaction is kind of U-shaped when it has to do with, having children, how it's really high after you get married, and then when you have kids, it goes way, way down. And then once you launch your kids, it goes way back up. Um, so obviously, I haven't launched my child slash future children yet, but I would say that my marriage is similarly as happy as it was before. Maybe a little bit less, but I'm really surprised that it says that there's really no research that has to do with, couples and marriages being happy and satisfied during the time that they have children. I know that having Emily just brings so much joy and happiness to my life, and I'm sure it does to my husband too, that, I just couldn't imagine her not being a part of our family. Some other things that interested me was, the high divorce rate at midlife. I mean, I guess it truly is where, parents just focus so much on their kids that they really don't try to put their spouse ahead of them, ahead of the children, or a priority, and so they just grow apart. And the children are really the only glue that keeps them together. I really hope that, my husband and I don't have that happen, because I know that, you know, if we don't work in our marriage, that it could easily kind of innocently slip into that, and before you know it, we don't know one another at all, 15 years from now. Um, So, I can definitely see my dad and some of the things that he goes through a lot in this, and, you know, um, even such as the section that had to do with grief and loss. I just lost my maternal grandmother, excuse me. My father's mother. Said it wrong again. Anyway, last week, and my dad knew it was inevitable, but that still didn't make it any less hard for him. And doesn't mean that he misses her any less. I'm not even looking forward to, when he passes. Excuse me, it's late. But, I don't know. I noticed at the end of the chapter that the authors have a section on gay, lesbian, family members and whatnot. I thought it was interesting to see how some things are similar between heterosexual and homosexual couples. But I wonder why they didn't maybe present data on some of the different ethnicities if they were going to also present it on different types of couples and relationships. So maybe the data and the information didn't specify the different ethnicities, or maybe, it doesn't even matter. I don't know. But I wonder if it's different for African American versus Caucasian or Asian American or Hispanic. Guess we'll never know. Bye.